Hey there, this is Owen Zarek coming to you with another 3Q4UbyU Winter Wonderland edition. I'm standing here at the park at the corner of Plain and Strong Streets, and we're here today to talk to John Losito, who owns the neighboring property and has been gracious enough to put on this wonderful light show every year with even more and more attractions year after year called Winter Wonderland and the Enchanted Forest. And we're here today to chat with John about that and the evolution of that project. Today, as we see some snow coming down, we're going to talk to him a little bit more about his Airbnb that's also located on the property, the Creation Station, and then also chat with him about his experience as a musician and some of the bands that he's been in. So come on down with me to the property. We'll take a little stroll through the woods here and talk with John. All right, well, so we're here for our first question. Thank you so much to John Losito for opening up his space for us to come in today for a 3Q4UbyU Winter Wonderland Enchanted Forest edition. We have a few great questions today about the Winter Wonderland Enchanted Forest and a lot of what John also does on the property. So here's our first question. I want to talk to John a little bit more about his inspiration for this event that's become quite a celebratory affair here in Easthampton, really transforming the space here and the woods here and the property that he lives on. Right behind me you can see the Kubota that makes some of this magic happen, and behind me too are a few of John's instruments also. We'll get to that later. So the first question, John, is tell us about the inspiration for Winter Wonderland and the Enchanted Forest.
So my family would bring me around to see Christmas lights when I was a kid, and obviously it was a bigger deal back then because they weren't so readily available like they are now. And but I remember there was some specific houses that they would take me to, and they'd pull up and they'd have me close my eyes, and they'd pull up to the house and then, okay, open your eyes. And I was always like really blown away by these people who would take the time to, you know, put thousands of lights on their house. And then of course they let me get overindulgent at our house and let me put up a lot of lights on the property and light the whole house. And back then they had a contest on Rock 102, and I won third prize for that. And what they did was they paid our electric bill for that month, which was a pretty cool thing, you know, but they come by and judge, and you had to put a Rock 102 sign out on the lawn. And then when I got this property, I started to, there was horses here. And so when I bought the property, there was a horse fence that went around the whole entire property. And so we started putting lights on the horse fence, on the perimeter. And of course, you know, the horses always go along the fence and make a path. So we put the lights across the horse fence, and then where it ended, we were like, okay, well, we just got to keep going. And so we just kept making the trail bigger so we could put more lights and make it longer and longer and longer. And then eventually, over a few years, it became a loop. And then we started to, you know, invite people over. Sunday before Christmas and have this whole gathering. And then since then, we, because of social media, we've been able to expand it and bring a lot more people. And I use the Easthampton Mass group page and things like that to draw people in, especially in the neighborhood right here. And the city has been great about giving us permission to use the playground parking lot to make, a low impact on the neighborhood. And that's just been really great for traffic flow and letting people come in. And then we also, hang out in the driveway and serve popcorn and hot chocolate. So now that the trail is up and established and safe and a really nice walking path, the concentration has been on adding more artistic, interactive elements to it. One of our main features is we call it the disco ball carousel. That's been up there for 20 years. So that has a fog machine now, so it makes it a little more fun. And but trying to add some artistic elements, some things that are, magical that happen in the woods. And one of the big things I'm excited about this year is this enchanted meadow down behind the Creation Station, where when you walk to the top of the hill, you look down, and we've added a river to it, and just some kind of whimsical Dr. Seuss-y type lighting down there. So that's really exciting for me. And but I don't want to give too much away, so you got to come and see it for yourself.
Thanks, John. And as someone who's been here a few times over the years, it's been really wonderful to watch the evolution, the addition of new paths being cleared out, new lights. And I agree, it's really wonderful that the city has allowed access to the park at Plain and Strong there to get down here. And kind of apropos about talking about this really magical space that we have here, you probably can't see it, but snow's starting to trickle down, little flurries here behind me. So John mentioned kind of this magical meadow behind what he calls the Creation Station. And this is a space that John has here in town, an Airbnb that's involved, obviously, that people could come and use and stay at, but there's also a lot of other magic that happens inside of there in collaboration with the local music scene. So that's our next question for John, is just to tell us more about the Creation Station.
All right, so the Creation Station. So when I came to take a look at this property, I pulled in, and of course there's this old horse stables there. And that's what I really wanted, some property, a fixer-upper with an outbuilding that I could use for jamming and, creation. And there it was, this cool old barn that was a stables. And so here we are, 3 home equity loans later, and we have this cool accessory apartment that the city has been so gracious to help me get up and running. And there's just such a great synergy going on with the people that stay throughout the year. I've been working I do audio tech for Laudable Productions. And, they've recently opened Bombix, and they put on Mill Pond Live here in Easthampton. And I host a lot of their bands that play at their shows that they book. And that's just been great, because a lot of those bands come from all over the world. And it's great to meet them and have them see what the vibe is here. We were fortunate enough to host a lot of great local bands, some for shows. Lexi Weege came and recorded her record here during COVID. So it's just a really great synergy. And, we just welcome all kinds of creative types to come here and create however they do, whether it's photography, painting, making music. I had a father and son come here for a week and record a record too. That was in the beginning of COVID. such a great thing. They lived in a small apartment and they just needed to get out. So if you need a place to stay, Creation Station's it. So if you choose to come and stay at the Creation Station, here's some of the unique amenities that you'll enjoy. It has a full stage and a sound system with drums, bass amp, guitar amp, PA system. There's a full projector, home theater. There's a 2-person jacuzzi tub and full surround sound. And we just installed a 1,000 square foot wraparound deck, so you can enjoy the view of the lights from there. So hopefully we'll see you all soon here.
Thanks, John. And I could testify to the fact that the Creation Station is really fits in really well with the theme here, the enchanted theme of the Enchanted Forest and Winter Wonderland. It's really this kind of little magical space that you don't necessarily expect to find when you turn down Strong Street and come to this property. It's really great that people from all over the world and people from our own community can enjoy that space, both to make music, to create music, and to record music. And so lastly, apropos of that, on top of all of this, on top of John opening up his space to allow for merriment and enjoying the holiday season for visitors and people who live here at Easthampton, as well as fostering the creativity of local artists, John himself is also an accomplished musician and plays with a band. And so our third question for you by John is about his experience as a musician and his current music.
So yeah, I've been playing in the Valley for most of my life, over 40 years. And God, I'm still playing with my bandmate from high school, Brian Pioggi, and we're still making music, and we love it as much as we ever did now. We were in a band called Extra, and then that band became Voices, and then that band became Dreamer, and then in the 90s that band became Primitive Inc., and then I took a break for a while, but now we have a band called Strum, but it's spelled with a D, S-D-R-U-M. And we've been playing at the town greens and some of the local outdoor spots, and it's just been great. It's been great to play music and just, with somebody who you just look over and you're like, here we are doing it again. It's just, it's magical. And you can see anybody in our band playing as a duo together, or a trio, or a 4-piece. Sometimes we plug in extra people. And I also do solo shows, and I love doing the whole looping pedal thing, the whole one-man band. So yeah, I'm always open for something new and fresh. So we'll see what's next. I think something's coming up.
Thank you for joining me for another 3 Questions for You by You, Winter Wonderland edition. I'm so grateful to John Losito for offering his time today and opening up his space, as he's done for the community and neighboring communities for Winter Wonderland and the Enchanted Forest, as well as the Creation Station, which he chatted with us about, which is open to people to rent out and check out and come create and record there. Winter Wonderland, as you can see, is open now through January 1st. We have parking right here at the park at the corner of Plain and Strong Street here in Easthampton, and looking forward to seeing you soon for another 3 Questions for You by You. Happy holidays, everyone.